I'm going to start off by asking you all a question, actually two questions. How many of you have noticed steadily every year your healthcare premiums seem to be rising a little bit more? How many of you would like to know why they're rising? Me too. So, I'm going to be talking to you about different health and wellness initiatives in the workplace. Did you know that last year the United States spent over $2 trillion on healthcare alone? That equals out to about $6,683 per person, and employers had to pick up 1/3 of that cost, which can be why your costs could be rising. Some of these reasons are obesity, which is considered a chronic disease, cost employers $123 billion alone, just for obesity. Employees who smoke cost in companies $3,856 more on top of what they normally would cost with their health care costs. And interestingly enough, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention estimated that 50% of the health care risks that were related to these figures could be modified by lifestyle changes like diet and exercise. So you can see here, I found this neat little chart. The Center for Disease Control, the first three are preventable and can be fixed through our workplace wellness program. So you can see tobacco, poor diet, and physical inactivity, which is a huge thing, especially in the workplace when people don't have enough time to exercise. But I'm just going to go over what the workplace wellness definition is. Leonard Berry, he is from the Harvard Business Review, came up with a formal definition. And he states it as an organized, employer-sponsored program designed to support employees, and occasionally their families too, as they adopt and sustain behaviors that reduce health risks, improve quality of life, enhance personal effectiveness, and benefit the organization's bottom line. And what I've come up with is that creating health and wellness programs are going to cut down costs, reduce absenteeism, cut down on work-related injuries, and also improve employee morale and loyalty. So, according to SHRM, the Society of Human Resources Management, they have come up with the most common wellness initiatives that are offered right now in most workplaces. The most common ones are flu shots, general health and safety communications, on-site exercise facilities or programs, gym memberships, on-site health fairs, smoking cessation programs, and health risk assessments, commonly known as HRAs. With that, 65% of companies are currently offering health risk assessments. What that is basically if an employee goes to a health fair sponsored by their employer or goes for their annual physician visit, they can have these things done, like their blood pressure, height, weight, all of that. And with that, it helps to figure out what their individual health needs are, their health risks, their health risk assessments. So now that we've seen some different ideas as to what most people offer, I'd like to see what you think that you might like to see within our organization in terms of wellness programs that kind of go along the lines before. So does anyone have any ideas as to what they might like to see?
I like the idea of the gym memberships.
Anyone else?
Like teams that go out and do, whether it's golf leagues or running groups or
Good idea.
basically everybody's-
Like a softball league type of thing too?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, that's a good start. Actually, if you turn over your agendas, I found a neat little list. In the far left column, you will see common initiatives that are being offered. And the next column, you'll see which companies are offering them right now. And then the next column shows what companies' ideas are, what they'd like to see within their organization in the future. So that just gives you some other ideas. To go along with that also, different things that we might like to do to kind of gain a following. We could introduce maybe little pocket calendars that we could have, and there has wellness tips, and then you can also use it as a calendar. Or something to hang in the cafeteria to encourage healthy eating to go along with that. Different posters, they come out monthly, so we can incorporate different posters with that. And then as well as other ideas like incorporating Zumba at work or other types of things like that. Another idea might also be perhaps taking a walk during your lunch break. And actually, I found in my research that there is a company in Florida who, in a hospital, a marketing department, they actually hold their staff meetings and they take a walk in a 2-mile loop around their building. That's how they conduct their staff meetings. So that could be another neat way to kind of get out, get some exercise, as well as conduct your business. So how will our organization benefit? First and foremost, we will have reduced healthcare costs. That is a big thing. It's a constant issue in the news. We just need to get those costs down. In one particular study, again by Leonard Berry in the Harvard Business Review, there was a random sample done of 185 employees within a company. Of those people, they were given cardiac rehabilitation as well as personal training sessions. And with that, none of them were really considered heart patients or anything like that. They seemed like they were perfectly healthy people. Well, most of them ended up having these high risks for heart disease and all those things like that. At the end of the 6th month, it was a 6-month time frame, 57% were considered high risk. And then of those 57%, most of them were considered low risk at the end of the study, just by doing these daily gym routines and having these daily screenings. And actually, to go along with that, medical claims for each of those employees decreased by $1,421 per person than compared to the year before as to what the company had to spend on the medical costs. Another good example is Johnson & Johnson. They actually implemented a wellness program in 1979. They've invested over $30 million, and they've had a great return on their investment. They are continuously measuring factors such as smoking habits, exercise habits, stress levels, weight, all that types of things. They have a 94% participation rate. And with that, they've actually dramatically decreased cholesterol levels, smoking habits, and poor exercise habits just by conducting these wellness initiatives. Since 1995, their wellness program has saved them an average of $225 a person, which equals to about $8.5 million a year. So that's pretty amazing. And to go along with that, of course, with exercise and all of that, it will reduce sickness, which therefore will reduce absenteeism rates. And with exercise, of course, we know it releases endorphins, so you're happier, which would then increase employee productivity, you're more focused, have better attention, and it'll also increase your loyalty to the company. So what is in it for us? This is the important part. First of all, becoming physically and emotionally healthy as a team. Working out by yourself, it's not ever any fun. At least for me, it's not. So when you go out, you have a workout buddy, go for a walk in your lunch break, you choose healthy options for lunch. These are different things that you can do together as a team. And then, of course, we'll have reduced healthcare premiums that go along with that. The two big things is that in most companies, if you do participate in a wellness program, and therefore you will have the reduced healthcare premiums, and also some companies deposit money into your flexible spending account or health savings account as an incentive for you to remain healthy. If you keep their costs down, then you'll keep your own costs down. Other perks that can go along with that: cash rewards, gift certificates, gym memberships, and who doesn't like an extra day off? So, as we can see, all of these factors together really are needed in order to make a successful wellness initiative. Just by being able to decrease the costs, keep us happy, keep our employer happy, all we really need to do is just work together as a team, gain a following, really encourage our fellow coworkers, our management. This is what we need in order to keep our costs down and to keep everybody happy.